Welcome to Crisis in Perception, where we examine the systems shaping our world one book at a time.
So how exactly is a freedom fighter made? Is it some big singular moment of revelation, or is it something slower, more complex? Well, that's what we're going to dig into today. We're going to use Nelson Mandela's incredible autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom, to explore not just the man himself, but the systems that actually forged him and the counter-system he helped build in response. Okay, so to really get this, we have to go right back to the beginning. We need to start where he did, in a world with its own very specific rules, its own hierarchies, its own customs. A world that, for the most part, operated completely separately from the one that governed white South Africa. And right away, you see this crucial early lesson in power. So Mandela's father, he was a respected royal counselor, and he defied a white magistrate, basically by sticking to his own traditional authority. Now, he wasn't just being stubborn here. He was defending his entire system of governance. And the magistrate's response? To just strip him of his title and his fortune? Just like that. It's this incredible, stark moment that shows two systems colliding, and it brutally reveals which one held all the cards. So you've got to picture this. Two completely different worlds existing right next to each other. On one side, you have the world of his village, Kunu. It's pastoral, it's self-contained. Life is simple, it's communal, deeply rooted in tradition. But then on the other side, you have this imposing system of white colonial rule. It's always just there, on the periphery, a distant, but undeniably powerful reality. So this contrast, it really sets the stage for everything that comes next. Because when Mandela moves to Johannesburg, that distant, imposing system of white rule, well, it's not distant anymore. It becomes an immediate, all-encompassing reality. His entire perception just shifts as he comes face to face with what you can only call the architecture of oppression. I love this quote because it gets to the heart of it. His awakening wasn't some lightning bolt moment, no single epiphany. It was the slow, crushing weight of the system. He calls it a steady accumulation of 1,000 slights, 1,000 indignities. It's his gradual realization, the slow-burning anger that builds over time, and that's what ultimately ignites his desire to fight back. And that system had a name: apartheid. I mean, the word itself literally means apartness. And what happened was, all the informal, kind of haphazard segregation that had been going on for centuries, it was now all codified. It was consolidated into one single monolithic legal system. It was diabolical in its detail and absolutely inescapable. And this thing was built on solid, concrete legal pillars. I mean, this wasn't just random prejudice. No, this was the architectural blueprint for oppression. You had the Population Registration Act. That's what officially classified everyone by race. Then the Group Areas Act, which told you where you could and could not live and work. And then the infamous Pass Laws, which controlled the movement of every single African person. Every single one of these laws was a tool, specifically designed to enforce a rigid, brutal hierarchy. But here's the thing about systems of oppression, right? They almost always give birth to their own opposites, systems of resistance. So in response to this incredibly rigid, brutal structure, an equally systematic resistance slowly started to take shape. And look, this resistance didn't just pop up overnight. It evolved strategically. It started back in the 40s with the ANC Youth League pushing for a more confrontational approach. Then, in the 50s, it escalates. You get the Defiance Campaign with massive civil disobedience. But then, when all that nonviolent protest is met with pure violence, the movement has to adapt again. And that leads to the formation of an armed wing in the 60s. You see what's happening? A counter system is being built, piece by piece, becoming strong enough to actually fight back. And this whole lifelong battle, this incredible process of building a counter system, it's all captured perfectly in the title of Mandela's autobiography. It's just such a powerful metaphor for what systemic change is all about. So the long walk to freedom, it's such a perfect metaphor, isn't it? It tells you right away that taking down an entire system isn't some quick sprint to the finish line. Nope. It's a long, hard, persistent journey. And even from inside prison, which Mandela called the fortress of the enemy, that fight kept going. It's this idea that every time you conquer one hill, you just see how many more there are to climb. But we have to remember, taking apart one system and trying to build another, that's not some abstract political game. It demands immense human sacrifice. And it really shines a light on that painful tension between the big, collective struggle and the actual lives of the people fighting it. And this is just such a crucial point. Fighting a system that's designed to dehumanize you, well, it takes a profound personal toll. Mandela himself wrote that when your life is the struggle, there's very little room left for family. He actually called that his greatest regret. It's just a heartbreaking reminder of the real personal cost of trying to build a new world.
And yet, the goal was always about building something new, a new system where future generations could actually thrive. And that hope for a future free from the shackles of the past, that's what fueled the whole thing. It's embodied in those family connections that somehow, against all odds, managed to endure.
So what does the end of that long walk finally look like? Well, at Mandela's inauguration, something incredible happened. They played two national anthems, one for the liberation movement and one for the old republic. Think about that. That single act just beautifully symbolizes that true, deep systemic change isn't just about winning a fight. It's about the incredibly difficult but absolutely essential work of reconciliation, of bringing two opposing sides together to build something brand new.
Which leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? Because a system isn't just destroyed, it has to be replaced. And what does it truly take to build that new one? That question is really at the heart of this whole story. It's a powerful reminder that the walk to freedom isn't just about fighting against something, it's an ongoing act of creation. For the full long-form deep dive into this book and its ideas, follow the link in the description. If you enjoy these explainers, please subscribe and comment with books or topics you'd like us to explore next.